You know what else is giving early 2000s? Sarah Michelle Gellar. She reinvented herself every season. She was like Madonna.
We as gay people, we get to choose which TV shows we make our personalities.
Was it gaggy or was it not gaggy?
But when we first meet the gentleman and they're like float walking through the town, that would have made me literally diarrhea myself. Where did she get that battle axe?
She got it from
Home Depot. When you think of Buffy, we have to talk about hair. I know I'm bald.
You're bald? Can we get a salary for the Slayer? What's going on with that?
The reno work on that house must have cost them a fortune.
Well, you wonder why Buffy gets into insurance in the revival. We didn't even mention Riley.
Oh,
But
God. He is the worst.
He's the worst.
I think at the end of the day, we don't want to see that, but maybe we do want to see it if it's good.
iHeartRadio Canada presents Bestie Listen.
Hey, Bestie.
How the hell are you?
I'm good. New glasses.
I never thought you would say anything. Frig.
They kind of match the logo.
They do.
Cute.
They're sponsored.
Cute, cute.
These are Bestie Listen glasses.
They're kind of giving early 2000s.
That's me.
You know what else is giving early 2000s?
What?
Sarah Michelle Gellar,
You know what?
who has been looming large over us like a rain cloud. No, not like a rain cloud. like a ray of sunshine. And I feel like it's finally time that we talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's time. We've waited 5 episodes. Now's the time.
Now is the time. We worked out the kinks and we're ready to like really give the definitive take on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because Buffy has been back in the news lately, of course, with the trashing of the revival over at Hulu, the much talked about, much anticipated revival. And we're going to get to our thoughts on that. But first, I want to know, what is your history with Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I'm so happy you asked, and this is going to be the first time you're hearing this, but my history with Buffy is that I watched it for the first time in university in a writing class. Hush, the episode, famously doesn't have a lot of dialogue in it, was a script and an episode that our professor wanted us to watch. I had never seen it before. I've never seen the show before. Again, I was a charmed girly, so it's the world I'm coming from. And then I watched it and I was immediately enamored. And I was like, what the frig? I had been missing out on that the whole time. So then I ran to Future Shop, may she rest. And I bought all 7 seasons. I went back home and I binged it in like 2 months. And I became it became my personality, as Buffy does for most gay people.
Yeah, most gay people for sure have that experience.
Yeah. What's your experience?
So when I was a kid, I would go to the video store and I was allowed to rent a movie once a weekend, and I would base it on what the cover looked like. And like, was it gaggy or was it not gaggy? And do you know what has the most gaggy cover ever?
What?
The Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. And so I was like, okay, I gotta see this. Like, who is this chick with a stick?
Who is this chick?
And I was so in love with that movie. I mean, there was Luke Perry, of course,
Yes.
but just like the whole darkness of it, but it was like sexy cheerleader slaying vampires by night. I was so into it. Like, it was made for me in a laboratory, and I watched it 100 times. Great. Then years later, they're like, we're doing a TV show. And I was like, sign me up. Then I found out it was Sarah Michelle Gellar playing Buffy, and I was unsigned up.
So
I unsigned
I don't
up.
want to see that.
Yeah. And it turns out that I was on the wrong side of history with that one.
Famously.
Big time. But I avoided it my whole life because of my loyalty to this movie that in retrospect is not even that good.
Well, I was going to say that, number one, with all due respect to everybody involved in that movie. But I love that you were walking around for like 10 years like this, never looking at Buffy, the show, at all.
Yeah. And I actually
Crazy.
like held a grudge against Sarah Michelle Gellar.
And
as
she
a
knows
result.
it.
And she probably does know it. And this is why she's put me in this situation.
So we're talking about it today. You know, Buffy, when you think of Buffy, you think of a lot of moments on that show. You think of the rocket launcher. You think of her hair. You think of Hush. You think of the body. What are some of your favorite Buffy moments?
Yeah, my favorite Buffy moment in terms of visuals is her launching herself into the void at the end of season 5. That is just such an iconic visual. I think about it every time a fly hits the windshield while I'm driving down the 401.
That's me leaving the studio today.
And there's also just so many great fight scene visuals. I mean, I love her with the battle axe, so iconic with like the light, with like the club lights going around her.
Where did she get that battle axe?
She got it from
Home Depot.
No, she got it from like a spooky woman in the cemetery, I think.
Yes.
Remember?
Unaccredited spooky woman in cemetery.
Like I think.
Yeah. How many times have you seen this show front to back?
One.
Just the once.
Just the ones, just the ones.
Yeah.
But I've revisited episodes here and there. I mean, like the body. You brought up the body.
Yeah. I think there's like
an iconic.
every Buffy fan has like a handful of episodes I think that they go back to, and I could say that it's the body, Hush, Once More with Feeling, and then there's like, you know, whatever else that you were drawn to.
Yeah. What's your moment?
My moment is her hair. I think when we're talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar and we're talking about Buffy and I'm gay, we have to talk about hair. And I know I'm bald, but I'm going to talk about hair for a second because it's important to me because I don't have any. I think when you think of Buffy,
You're bald?
I'm wearing glasses. Merry Christmas. When you think of Buffy and you think of Sarah Michelle, you think of her.
I'm just noticing you're bald.
I know.
So,
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, but the thing about her hair is she reinvented herself every season. She was like Madonna.
Yes. Some would say like Jennifer Aniston on Friends, but it is like Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think we were talking about this earlier. I saw a clip on Twitter this week from She's All That. She has a 2-second cameo in it, and someone quote tweeted it and said, and I am calling it Twitter, I'm not calling it X, because I live in, not in my world, not in the world I live in.
We live in Canada.
Okay.
It's still called Twitter.
Someone said, she has literally a 2-second cameo, and she's like, someone quote tweeted and said, I can tell which episode of Buffy she was filming when she filmed this. And I think I'm saying it a bit flippantly, but it is kind of, for lack of a better word, iconic that you can think of someone's hair and you think of a show.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm glad you get it.
I mark my life based on
My hair.
Alanis Morissette's hair length.
Wow.
So I know that there's people who do the same for Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Do you love her cameo in Sex and the City?
Love.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the kiss.
But also like Sarah Jessica. There's too many three
Wait,
names.
I thought I was talking about Alanis Morissette.
No, we are. Sarah Jessica's hair in that episode is kind of giving like Alanis.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Just wanted to bring up that because we're touching the hot topics today. I mean, you know, it's relevant to us always, but more than ever with the news of the revival, Buffy became part of culture again in a big way, in a bigger way. Were you excited by the revival news?
Yeah, I was cautiously optimistic about the revival because I had watched Sarah Michelle Gellar
From afar.
in the few years that I knew her as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Since I finally did binge watch the whole thing a few years ago, and so I was like, "What's going on with Sarah Michelle Gellar?" Now I'm going to follow her on Instagram, and I noticed that she was
I
like,
got to follow her on Instagram.
she was respectful of Buffy, but she seemed to keep it at arm's length. Like I could tell she didn't want to be
Associated with.
Like she didn't want to make it her whole identity.
Yeah.
And so the fact that something pushed her over the edge to sign back up to, you know, hold the stake again, I was like, it's got to be good. Like
Yeah.
I trust her.
Yeah.
And then that they announced that Chloe Zhao would be attached to directing it. I was like, I trust her. I trust anybody with an Academy. Well, not anybody, but I trust most people with an Academy Award. And
It's a
so
long
this
list.
seems
People I don't trust.
this seems kind of exciting to me. So
Yeah.
I was on board, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was not. In general, I never want a revival, quite
Yeah.
frankly, you know, and
Fair.
just like that, it hurt me.
Yeah, it
And
hurt a
I-
lot of people.
It hurt a lot of people. And I didn't want to be, it's like Kim Cattrall is number one on that list. I didn't want to be hurt again. And, you know, I think that's not to say that you can't do it. I think there are versions of it exist. None are coming to my mind right now. But, you know, as a TV show, as Buffy exists in those 7 seasons, I don't see a world in which we can do it the same way in 2026. Right?
Yeah, but I will say that we have had some good revivals. I'll talk about that a little later. Twin Peaks: The Return,
True. That's actually so true. The comeback season too.
90210. Are we ready to have that conversation?
I have been watching Shanae Grimes Beach, who has a YouTube channel where she is talking about her illustrious career. such as Scream 4, Degrassi, and 90210.
Yeah.
The 90210 revival changed my life.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Sinead Grimes Beach was announced as
Is
the
that
lead?
her name?
I don't know. I think it is 3 parts.
I think I thought it was Shailene Woodley.
Beach. Sarah Jessica Parker, Sarah Michelle Gellar Beach. I think, anyway, we're going too far off
Sorry.
here. Are you then, if your gut reaction to the revival news was like a little trepidatious, but also like maybe excited, would you say then, are you protective over Buffy?
I wouldn't say that I'm protective over Buffy. I feel like if a Buffy revival came and went and was no good, like I just pretend it never happened, right? So like I don't think
such a stain.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think it would stain the franchise. I don't think it would stain like the character or even Sarah Michelle Gellar's career. It would just be like oh yeah, that happened too, and I can pretend it didn't happen. I think the bigger problem for me with a revival is that Buffy ended in such a way that it doesn't really make sense how it could come back, right? Because like, spoiler alert, Buffy gives the power to every girl to potentially be a Slayer should she
all
want
Slayers.
to be. And so like, doesn't Sunnydale fall into hell?
So where's she living?
So what's the point? Where's
does
she
she
living?
live?
Where does she live? What
does
does she
her hair
wear?
look
Is her hair up? Is it down?
Well, she wore that red suit.
And
I didn't like it.
who's the Slayer? And does it matter? Because anybody can be a Slayer.
Yeah. I never thought of those things, but it's so true when you lay it out like that, there's a lot of questions attached to it.
Yeah.
And I think there's such a preciousness to like, we're in an era now of more is more is more. And, I was going on a tangent about this, but my controversial opinion is I don't think a lot of these prequels, reboots, whatever would exist if we didn't keep asking these questions on the red carpet. Lindsay Lohan, when are you going to make a sequel to Freakier Friday? It's like, wait, what? How? We just did that. Why are we rebooting that? Lindsay Lohan, when are you going to do a sequel to Herbie Fully Loaded again? What are we doing? Like, stop asking these questions. Sarah Jessica Parker, where's Hocus Pocus 3?
And suddenly, like, Hocus Pocus, here it is.
I need less Hocus Pocus, okay?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from, personally.
You're more worried about the culture of rebooting and revivals.
I just think like we've mined so much from IP
Yeah.
and it can sometimes be beneficial. I think the thing that's at the front of my brain almost every day of my life are Charlie's Angels and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. I think they're so successful that for at least our generation, we don't really acknowledge the 70s TV show or the short-lived ABC revival in 2005. And no one should. But it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done, but the people who are like mourning the loss of the Lizzie McGuire reboot is like, I don't.
Was there going to be a
I'm
Lizzie
almost
McGuire
50. I don't
reboot?
need to see that. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, they had shot the pilot for
Yeah.
Disney Plus, and then they pulled the plug on it.
Oh my God, similar story.
Yes, actually. Well, it's because Hilary Duff really wanted it to be like, she's 30 something.
She wanted it to be perfect.
Well, yes. She wanted it to be mature. She actually did want it to be mature. So that's what wasn't happening. And if, we were to get a Buffy revival and it wasn't great, yeah, to your point, we could all move on with our lives. But how beautiful is it to have a lovely 7 seasons that we know and love?
Yeah, we got a perfect 5.
Yeah, 5.5. 5 3/4. Why do you think people have such strong feelings towards this series in general? Like, why we as gay people, we get to choose which TV shows
Yeah.
we make our personalities.
Yeah, and I keep choosing wrong. That's what I'm learning. Is like, as I said, like was watching the X-Files. I loved the X-Files growing up, and so my girl was Scully, right? And
Fierce is fierce.
I'm not saying I chose wrong, but people really glob onto it. And like, I just don't feel the same way about Scully now as I
Yeah.
did when I was a kid. But it seems to me that people feel as passionately about Buffy as they did when they watched it as kids or teens or whatever they were. And I think it's because like watching it as an adult, I was very surprised that the dialogue was really like elevated in a Dawson's Creek-esque kind of way, where this isn't the way that teenagers talk, but it's like very quippy, very witty, and it's aged really well for the most part. And so I think that there was actually a lot there, and the plot lines were like really well paced. Like you had, yes, the odd, really bad Monster of the Week episode.
But even those episodes I love.
Yeah,
that's
well, they're
what I
like
want.
culty.
Yeah.
Partially, like, I want to avoid invoking his name too much, but Joss Whedon was a comic book writer. And I think that the comic book writing style lends itself very well to serialized TV. And I think that's where Buffy really benefited, was sort of like having that kind of an eye on it. And it just makes it age like fine wine.
Which is so crazy because it is so of its time and place.
Yeah.
And that's where my issue comes with like doing a revival, which is like, how does Buffy the Vampire Slayer, as we know and love, exist in 2026? And to your point, that includes dialogue, that includes theme song, that includes, and obviously it doesn't need to be copy and paste, but I love it for those reasons. I love it for the way that they speak on the show. I love it for its campiness. I love it for its Monster of the Week. You know what we're not making anymore, besides Hook, is that kind of show. We're not making a teen drama in that way anymore, if at all.
Wouldn't it be great if we did make Hook, though?
I'm not getting into that today with you.
But,
And that's it.
did you? So no, I want to ask you this. Did you read the leaked script that came out? It popped up on Reddit.
That's such a good question. I did not, but I saw a lot of complaints on Twitter about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I skimmed it. I didn't read the whole thing. Look, you took a screenwriting course.
Did I?
I didn't. So I don't really know how to read script. Like, it's not fun reading for me. But I skimmed it, and look, I'll tell you what there wasn't a lot of. Buffy.
Okay.
Buffy shows up in the last scene.
Yeah, but that makes sense in a pilot, which
It does
is like to
make
tease
sense.
it. I get that.
This is the thing, is like the pilot script got heavily trashed online by the Buffy fans, and I think for lots of good reasons. But in its defense, it's a script. Sarah Michelle Gellar has come out saying that is not the final script. Of course, a pilot script is going to be reworked 100 times, as this one definitely needed to be. But I don't think that it was terrible based on what I saw. Like, I think there was potential.
What you saw with your eyes.
What I saw with my eyes and the text on the screen.
With the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I saw in my mind's eye.
What I saw in my open heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look, could it have been good? Maybe, but you know, I live in the here and now, and it's not here and it's not now either.
But the really depressing part was that this is where we get Buffy coming in, New York City,
Buffy doesn't live in
following
New York
a
City.
woman into an office building. She's loading up Teams, Excel. She goes to a
Is
meeting.
this actually in the script?
Swear to God. Swear to God. And
God.
she's like, oh, I'm late for the meeting. She goes into the meeting, and then you focus on her computer, and it's like, she works at an insurance company. Insurance claim, earthquake, fire, lightning bolt, Sunnydale, 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 Sunnydale. So it's like shit is going down in New Sunnydale.
They rebuilt it.
I guess they rebuilt it because old Sunnydale fell into hell. And and then cut. And she's going by Anne.
I mean, I get that part, but it's like, I get the Anne
get the
of it.
Anne
I
part,
get
yeah.
Anne. The problem with a reboot or revival is like you are wanting to see what the version of the person or the characters in your head and what they look like to you. And to you, usually they look the same because that show existed the way that it did. Like even when Buffy went to college, it was like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
And a lot of teen shows have trouble when they go to college.
The college years are rough.
Saved by the Bell, famously.
I mean, we had to find a reason to get Buffy back in the school. She became a counselor or something, right?
yeah.
So they were like,
They're
we
like,
gotta get
ma'am,
her,
you're 40.
we got to
believe."
get her back in high school.
Yeah. You know, they did this with Charmed, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the revival, just for my attachment to the original series. But
Wasn't it well received?
It was, and it ran for I think 4 or 5 seasons on the
Oh my
CW.
God.
But to do that in that way is just new group of 3 witches who are sisters, and then you just do the formula again. That I'm fine with. This is like, well, you love Buffy, but now to include her, she's an insurance agent
Yeah.
who lives in New York.
Yeah, well, I think obviously, like, I don't think she would have stayed at an insurance agent.
Obviously, it was undercover insurance agent.
She would have, got back in the old Buffy boots. But I think that the issue of like relegating Buffy to a mentorship role in the show is one that like I can't really get over, because you're clearly just trying to pass it on to a next generation. But if the next generation doesn't have that chemistry that the Scooby Gang had in the original Buffy, then you don't have a show.
I agree. Like, there's so many elements to Buffy, the original show, that make it only exist in the timeline that it existed. Like, why were 15-year-olds going to a bar after school to dance to this?
Michelle Branch and Biff Naked.
I was literally just gonna say, like, where are your parents?
Yeah.
And don't you have school in the morning?
Yeah, they were always at the bar.
They were, like at 15.
Yeah.
I digress.
Okay, so you watched the Charmed reboot.
Uh-huh.
You had certain feelings about it. Was there any reboot that really pissed you off?
It's a great question. I think like it is and just like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to poo-poo on it too much, but it suffered from taking women who existed at a certain time and place and catapulting them on a rocket to the here and now. And it's like, this is how we speak. This is what you guys did wrong. This is how to fix it. And it was like, yes, that's all great, but that wasn't the same show. It was a very different show. And it was a very different show in a lot of ways. Again, with Sex and the City, a lot of the allure to that original show is the voiceover, is that it was fucking 25 minutes. Was that, it almost worked in like, it wasn't a sitcom, obviously, but it was like quick and it was fast and it was snippy. And the way the dialogue also with the four of them at a diner, it didn't exist the same way.
I think the biggest difference between Sex and the City, which I haven't seen, and then Just Like That, which I have seen, unfortunately.
You live a very different life than I live.
Is that Sex and the City was culturally relevant, right? Like there was like relevance, there was like an urgency to that show. I have seen some episodes, so like I feel completely qualified to speak on this.
Sure.
And Just Like That was culturally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like worse than being not relevant, it was like aggressively irrelevant.
Well, I think almost it became iconic because it just went like fully around the block and came back with like a bad wig. And it's like, here's this show now. And people are like, do I like this or do I like not like it? And either way, I'm going to continue to watch it because it's going to get good.
I think it would be easier to name the ones that are good.
So why is 90210? Why does 90210 work?
That is such a good question, because there is a parallel, I think, to make to Buffy, where it is this teen show. It's like dealing with, more adult issues. It does have that, the dialogue is aged up to the character, you know what I mean? Where they're speaking like older than the character is. And I feel like they managed to do it kind of justice in the reboot. I recognize that it's an objectively bad show.
I think it's good. I think in season 2 it gets good.
Season 2 it gets good or gets bad?
No, season 1 I think was tough because it was trying to emulate the original show. And once they gave up on that, they just became their own show. And then seasons like 2, 3, 4, did it go 5 seasons?
Look, I don't know how many seasons there were.
We're not an information podcast.
I felt like they had such a good villain in Annalyn McCord.
If I Was Your Mother.
Who turned into like a real life villain.
I love her. No, I think why 90210 works is because the original show is just like Melrose Place reboot.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
The original show is just a group of teens and in high school, and then they go to college, and then they're just sex, drugs, rock and roll, and whatever. You're figuring out your life. That's easy to do again in a different decade because
it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, copy paste.
Yeah.
Buffy. You can do that show again. Great. Let's do a teen supernatural drama. But if you're going to do the same thing, it has to kind of maybe look the same.
Yeah, and part of the problem is a show like Buffy has so much lore to it, right? Like there is, and die-hard fans, where a teen drama like 90210, it's just drama, right? Like it's just juicy, sort of like sickly sweet drama that you
Yeah.
can like sit down and eat with popcorn, watch with popcorn. And a show like Buffy, it's just like there is such a depth of knowledge of this show where you can say to somebody like, you know,
Yeah.
season 6, episode 3, and they're going to be able to recite the whole thing to you and all the lore behind it. And it's really difficult to nail that. I think a lot of franchises have struggled with that, like the straight franchises like Star Wars and Star Trek. Because you deal with these fandoms that are like crazy. And I respect it. I respect the crazy fandoms, but it's really difficult to nail in a reboot. And so I think it would have been picked apart for that because there would be references, but they would be surface level.
I just think it's honestly an impossible task that I would wish upon nobody because one, the fans will never be happy. Two, you know, you're setting yourself up almost for failure because it's like, if it doesn't exist exactly how we watched it before, then I don't want this anymore. Because isn't just like that bad, or am I too close to it now to see that it's maybe good, and then 10 years from now I'll look back on it, which by the way I won't, and think it's good. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm
though?
begging you to not look
No,
back
no,
on it.
I've never even looked at it.
I think part of the problem with rebooting a show like this is that you had these not just season-long narratives, but you had these like series-long narratives. Like I look at Buffy's mom, right, and her death, and the ripples that has throughout the final seasons. It's not like she dies and the characters move on. It's like this becomes a serious issue for Buffy and her friends. Like Buffy's got to get a job and pay her bills while slaying at night.
She's got to become an insurance
Not
agent.
fair. First of all, can we get a salary for Buffy? Like, can we get a salary for the Slayer? What's going on with that?
The reno work on that house must have cost them a fortune because that and the Hallowell mansion, every week people were coming into that house, breaking windows, breaking walls, breaking couches. Sorry, I know that's not what we're talking about right now. But people are always like, how can Carrie Bradshaw afford her apartment? I was like, I don't know, that makes sense. How can the Charm sisters continue to put up a new wall every week?
Well, you wonder why Buffy gets into insurance in the revival.
Home insurance.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
Death insurance, like Vicky Gunvalson.
But all this to say, it's like you invest all this time, season after season, in these emotional arcs that carry through, and then it ends in such like with a bow on it, right?
Yeah.
That to pick up all these years later, are we expected to have that same emotional investment in these characters?
Well, that's what happened with Sex and City, right? Where it wrapped in such a bow, and then it comes back and it's like Big, dead, Aiden, back, Kim Cattrall, not there, Miranda, alcoholic lesbian.
And this is what we would have with Buffy, right? Like it's like Xander, not there. May he rest in peace. Like I don't think Willow's going to be there.
I kept waiting for Allison Hannigan joins Buffy Revival,
It's not going to happen.
Never happened.
It's not going to happen. Cordelia, I think she would sign up, but I don't really know what happened with her and Angel.
Did you ever watch Angel?
Just the crossover
It's
episodes.
literally same.
Literally, that's all
Glad
you
we're
need
on
to
the same
see.
page
Yeah.
there.
But I do think it's a problem because we're being asked to, I think, in episode 1, invest in a whole new cast of characters that it's just the likelihood of that happening, like the likelihood of the audience organically doing that, low.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, you got Sarah Michelle, and here's a brand new Slayer, and then there's going to be a new Scooby Gang, but it's not going to be like the old Scooby Gang. So the show's going to kind of look like the show that you liked, but not really. And it's like, well, what exactly am I watching? Am I watching a fragment of something that used to be familiar to me because this is all baked and cooked in nostalgia, or is this mind IP that's actually good? Mm-hmm. And I don't have the answer. I'm wearing glasses, but I don't have that answer, you know?
Look closely. Okay, I mentioned Joyce, Buffy's mother, famously, and I want to talk about The Body because it is one of those episodes that people always point to show you how great Buffy is. Do you remember your reaction to watching The Body?
Yeah, I was shaking and crying like I wasn't expecting it. I had not been spoiled about that. I think I do the same thing that everybody does when they start a new show, which is the show's here, the Wikipedia page is here. And I'm like, okay. But I was more obsessed with the viewership numbers from when it aired. But no, I didn't know, and I was caught off guard, but I was more caught off guard I think Sarah Michelle Gellar is an incredible actress. I really do. I don't think anybody can deliver the dialogue that she has had to deliver on Buffy the way that she can. It is so specific to her craft. But in the body, it is acting from her that I don't think we had seen yet.
I genuinely can't believe it didn't win an Emmy.
I can't believe that show didn't win a
she
lot of
says,
Emmys.
Mommy.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom? I'm going to start
It's so
crying.
good.
Yeah.
No music,
No.
pure emotion.
Yeah. There's no music for like a large portion of that episode.
A long time. And then what really gags me about the body is that, like I said, it just carries on. Like it's so realistic because it could just be mom dies in the body, but it's like the next episode they're dealing with it, right? Like they're picking out caskets. Like it just like continues and continues. And for me, it was genuinely one of the most realistic depictions of death in a TV show.
Death and young death for like both Joyce and for Buffy. Like and Joyce was such a arc for her, and then Dawn had just come in, so then Buffy kind of becomes like Dawn's mother. And I think this gets to the point of like Buffy did such a good job aging with its audience. So yes, Buffy went to university, but as she was going to university, a lot of Buffy plot lines are masqueraded under like Monster of the Week, but it's like the Monster of the Week is
the demon inside you.
I was gonna say like, your first boyfriend, or like your first heartbreak, your first time having intercourse, your first time doing this. Buffy goes through a lot of early experiences that, she's slaying the vampire, and then she also has to deal with her 400-year-old boyfriend who's not texting back. They weren't texting. Wasn't showing up at the window unannounced yet.
And we talked about Hush. Can we talk about Hush a little bit?
I would love to talk about Hush.
What an iconic episode. Do you know what Hush reminds me of?
What?
Are You Afraid of the Dark at its peak?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's such a perfect
Monster of the Week
episode that is genuinely spooky.
I think it's genuinely spooky. I watch it every Halloween.
Do you?
Yeah, it's one of my my boyfriend lives a very hard life from October 1st to 31st, and sometimes I do it early in September. He just is, it's like a haunted house in there. It's like screamers. Like he's like, oh.
Do you remember the Buffy episode where it's Halloween and everybody turns into their costume?
Love. What a crazy episode.
Imagine if that happened.
Yeah, well.
I'd be Anne Murray.
I'd be a man with glasses. Hush is so good because it's not doing a lot. It's doing a lot, obviously, but it's so subtle, which is so crazy. But everybody is so good in that too. I love when they first realize they can't speak and everybody's like, and I'm like, wow, that's,
Should we do the rest of the podcast like Hush?
Oh God, we've done most of it like that. The crazy thing about the episode Hush is that episode really can't exist now because imagine someone pressing play on that episode and not looking up from their phone for like 17 minutes. I mean, like, well, I didn't hear anything. And I thought it just wasn't playing, and then I'm like seeing them walk around.
Yeah,
in
that person would be me. Like, I'm sorry to say, but I am this. People? I'm becoming the second screen viewer. It's not good. I'm not proud of myself. In fact, I'm ashamed of myself.
Shame.
Yeah, and
how
I think that I would think, oh, it just never played.
Yeah, no, it's actually
I would literally be like, it never played.
This is why I watch all new release movies in the movie theater because I have to.
It's really important.
It is important.
Yeah.
I am pretty good at home, but then there's like some times where I'm like, geez, this is tough. Anyway, but it couldn't exist today, and it couldn't exist today because we have shorter episode orders. So when you had 22, 23, 24 episodes to play with, you could sit there and be like, guys, what if we did an episode where the whole town went silent? Which normally your season's not leading to that, because now I think, I did take a screenwriting course and I am wearing glasses, but I've never been in a writer's room. But if you're looking at a 10 episode arc, you're looking at the through line. You're not looking at what is filler. And sometimes you need a filler episode.
Yeah.
Sometimes those filler episodes can be great episodes.
Yeah.
There are episodes from season 2 and early season 3 of Buffy that are just straight up Monster of the Week episodes, and I love them. I love when Giles is giving the breakdown of what's happening in the town, and they all have their like drawing boards, and Buffy is doing this, which I love.
Yeah.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar's fake scream that's put on top of her scream at the end. Always the craziest voice I've ever heard. And I love, truly, like, we don't have this kind of TV show anymore, and it makes me yearn for it. But when we first meet the gentlemen and they're like float walking through the town, that was a show that was on at like 8 o'clock for like 12-year-olds. And that would have made me literally diarrhea myself. Like, that is so crazy. Because even watching it now, it's genuinely unnerving. No, I'm serious.
No, but this is what I'm saying is like, I feel like
we're not doing that.
no, but I feel like YTV was doing that with Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because
Don't get me
some of those
started.
are so scary. Some of the tale of Old Man Corcoran. Are you kidding me? Like, that still keeps
Is
me
that
up
Are
at
You
night.
Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been rewatching Goosebumps right now, which is so crazy.
Goosebumps I never found scary.
No, but that's really all I got to say on that. But it's good. Like, I'm gonna start on Canadian TV. Literally the opening theme song to Are You Afraid of the Dark has done more for my psyche than
Yeah.
anything, like in a negative way.
Negative, yeah,
like
for sure.
I close my eyes at night. It's that, and then like my life.
What other episodes do you love?
From
Buffy.
Buffy, I love. I'm gonna get so many names wrong, and that's what bothers me.
I don't mind.
I love The Prom.
Okay.
I love Once More with Feeling. I have that entire album.
Yeah, I do listen to it every now and
I have it
then.
on vinyl, and I had it on CD.
Do you know what the biggest gag about Once More with Feeling? Would they have it on vinyl?
It was a special release. I'll send you a picture later.
I don't want the picture. I want the vinyl.
You're not getting that.
Okay. The thing about Once More with Feeling is that it was kind of a trend at the time to do a musical episode, as we know.
Let's get into it.
Let's not. And and I thought it was just going to be this hokey episode. Of course, I've heard about the Buffy musical episode my whole life, but you know me, I was like, tunnel vision, I'm not watching that. And so I finally get to it, and I'm like, first of all, every song is a banger.
So good.
Banger, banger, banger.
So good.
And then it's the gut punch at the end. Because the whole thing is that this demon wants to marry Dawn, right? Like, she's 14. He wants to bring her to hell and marry her.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Wonderful story.
Great.
Gee, I wonder who came up with that one.
Wow.
And then you're watching, and at the very end, Buffy reveals, because this is after she had been resurrected from the dead, and she's been off the whole time. Like, she's been, as you are, when
She's not herself.
when you have to crawl out of your own coffin and grave.
You know when you die?
Yeah.
And you come back?
It's not the same.
And you have to go right back to work.
Yeah, it's so, the bills are piling up. Dawn's certainly not working.
No.
Anyways,
Willow and Xander are just walking through the town. Like, where is she? Giles is just changing books in the library.
yeah.
Anyway.
Buffy comes out with this, like, guys, I was in heaven. You pulled me out of heaven. And now it all clicks. I'm like, well, that sounds like a great place to be.
Yeah.
No wonder she's pissed off. That's the real gag of that episode
Well,
for me.
it's a musical episode that exists for a reason, which is
Yeah.
what your point is, which
Yeah.
is like, this isn't Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
They did a musical
I
episode.
know.
Okay.
Who
Which
else
is
did a musical episode? Ally McBeal?
Glee. Ally McBeal. I had to bring
We're
it
not doing Glee.
up. No. Ally McBeal, Grey's Anatomy, Buffy, something
Who should have
else.
done a musical episode?
ER.
Survivor.
Survive. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Do the musical version of Real Housewives of New York, and I would watch that in a second.
I know you would.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to start writing that when I get home. I think we got something there. Titanic, but it's that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you know which one I love?
Tell me.
Ted.
Yes.
You know Ted?
Yeah.
Ted, where Buffy's mom starts dating this guy.
Yeah.
He turns out to be a robot.
John Ritter.
But it gets into domestic abuse. That's what that episode woke me up to Buffy, where I was like, okay, I'm going through the motions. Look, I can see it's good. And when he slaps Buffy, I was like taken aback.
Yeah. Isn't that the same episode where she has the Grinder logo mask
She has
in her
Grindr?
bedroom? She has Grinder. Buffy's on Grinder. That's how she finds the vampires. No, that's a meme. We're offline here, but I'm online in here.
Yeah, missed the grinder.
Yeah, so viewer attention has dwindled, but
Yeah,
also
our attention has dwindled.
I'm just talking about everything else. We would have 24 episode season orders back then,
Yeah.
and you had to fill your time, but also
You had to get creative.
your audience was committed. At that time, I was sitting there. I wasn't watching Buffy. I was watching Charmed.
There was nothing else to do.
No, so I was like, okay. What's happening on Charmed this week? Yeah, I'm watching it.
We are just reminiscing about our favorite episodes, and I feel like this gets to the core of why these revivals happen. It's all about the nostalgia culture, which is like, one, we are contributing to, and two, we are rejecting. That's the problem. We're
Yeah.
part of the problem.
It's like you know what I want? A third Charlie's Angels movie with the same cast.
Yeah.
You know what I don't want? Something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
It's like, yeah, would I go see it? Of course. Do we need it and do I want it? No, because I want more and new things.
Not to invoke Goosebumps again, but it's like the Goosebumps episode. Be careful what you wish
Oh,
for.
I thought you were talking about the Disney Plus revival. That was
Oh, also that.
awful.
That's a great example of why we
Turn
shouldn't
the
do.
lights on these shows. Everybody is filming in the dark.
Do you know what? I bet Buffy would have been dark. Buffy would have been pitch black.
And that's my major issue because we're like, no, but actually that actually gets us to what we've been talking about, which is like, you know, I'm currently rewatching Sex and the City.
Oh my God.
But the way it looked was so cinematic. And then you have the streaming slop of it all. Where,
Yeah.
and just like that, there are scenes that they've never done things before like they did on And Just Like That. Like the apartment scenes, the way it's lit, the backlighting, the skyline, it looks insane. Where on the original series, Carrie's apartment was like on a set in New Jersey. And I was like, yeah, we're in a brownstone in New York. I believe it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Where I don't know what Buffy would look like now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Or what it would sound like.
I don't think it would look good.
I don't think it would sound good.
I don't think it would sound good because there would probably not be a musical episode. Heaven forbid they did do a musical episode because that probably wouldn't be good either.
Yeah.
And they, you know what? They probably would do a musical episode.
Yeah.
I take it back.
It'd be again.
And it would be bad.
Once more with feeling. Yeah. With Mandy Moore. Yeah, it's the nostalgia of it all at the end of the day that I think is kind of the issue. And I think like audiences are craving a lot of new things and they also want to see revivals. And I think there is a happy medium between that. I think we're seeing that this year with a lot of things theatrically. You know, people are going to the movies. Movies are back in a big way. And I'm saying it today. But Devil Wears Prada 2 is doing really, really well. Did we need it? No. Did we like it? Maybe. But is it doing well? Yes. But at the same time, you have original movies that are coming out this year that are also doing really well. I think there is a happy medium. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
Do you? It doesn't seem sure.
I think I agree, but I don't think that we necessarily need reboots or revivals to get people consuming media. Again, they're going to consume media. I think we just need, like, where's the next Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Like, give us another. There were so many, right? Like, there was Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
This is
The
what I'm
X-Files.
saying. Give me another one of those, but make it
There was all
different.
the vampire ones, all the diaries and the,
How do you feel about that?
Twilights
All the
and,
diaries and the Twilight.
you know, like there were so many vampires.
Vampire Diaries is great.
Right? Like there's got to be a new vampire story to tell. I think that's what people are really craving. And
Put-
not Dexter.
Not Dexter, not Ready or Not To. Put her on something like The White Lotus.
Yeah.
Give, not that, but give
But something
her
like it.
a bone with meat on it and
Yeah.
let her work her way through it because I've had enough of some of the casting choices. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
not happy. Okay. I think at the end of the day, what we're saying is after talking for 15 minutes, we don't want to see that, but maybe we do want to see it if it's good. That makes sense. I think that's what we want to sum up.
Yeah. If it was really good, we'd want to see that.
But if it's bad,
we don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we've forgotten today?
I think there's a lot we've forgotten. We didn't even mention Riley.
Oh,
But
God.
you know what? Who
He's
has the
awful.
time? Who has the time?
He is the worst.
He's the worst.
Even in Hush, he's so annoying.
Wait, what if the revival is just Riley? It's called Just Riley.
I'm gonna get up. If this wasn't at my neck, I'd get up right now. At the end of the day, Buffy is a show about consequences, morality, letting go, being resurrected. You know, she died like 13 times on that show.
She did.
Is that maybe the message we should be taking?
Let it die.
Let it die.
As Feist once said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should take Feist's advice and let it die.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
Let her rest.
as much as I love the post-resurrection stuff of Buffy, there
With
is
it, yeah.
a really great argument to be made of just let her die.
Let her die. I mean, that's such a dark way to end this, but I think, you know, nostalgia is a killer. More tonight at 11. Sean, this has been great.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
I can't wait. Thank you so much today for this, Sean.
You're welcome.
It's been great.
I had a blast as always.
Should we jump like Buffy off the set?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. No. We're
Gonna need.
Look says no.
We're gonna need Ann Summers insurance.
Bye.
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 Should we walk off the set? Are we walking off the set?